it's a crowd, I swear. All of these lame, photo ready, but without the frame. Suspend the quarter on my wrist and chain. If you get caught, you better not mention name. Blow on my smoke in the train. The red be keeping me sane. Unstoppable, I ain't no tame. I'm unstoppable, just like the train. I can't see nobody stopping us. We're unstoppable. Went through a whole lot of obstacles. I swear we did get impossible. Right on the table and pick it up. Go hit the club and then pick it up. A whole lot of cash, we gon' get it back. You know we gon' get it back. I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable. Run on that paper and get it. Whatever it take, we gon' beat it. You know ain't nobody stopping us. Mafia. All of my they mafia. Thought I told you we unstoppable. I can't see nobody stopping us. Mafia. I can't see nobody. All of their money, so all of their money.
bed.
Greatness. No hard work. YFL DC thinks it's a game. It's not a game. I can't see nobody stopping us. We're unstoppable. Went through a whole lot of obstacles. I said we did the impossible. Run out the paper and fuck it up. Go hit the club and fuck it up. A whole lot of pace, we gon' get it back. You know we gon' get it back. I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable. Run out the paper and get it. Whatever it takes, we gon' get it. You know ain't nobody stopping us. Mafia. All of my they mafia. Thought I told you we unstoppable. I just spent the brick on my Jesus. You gotta put God first. I swear I turned it to believers. This came from hard work. Gotta hustle, stay down with your people. Can't betray the one who feed you. No competition, we are equal. Can't let nobody mislead you. No LA from Summer Hill. It's only one of him. So Atlanta number lanes here. We was raised not to have a feel. When nothing down, so many tears. So many nights I cried and swear. So many nights I cried, I swear. All of these lame. Photo ready, but without the frame. Just spent the quarter on my wrist and chain. If you get caught, you better not mention name. Blow almost more than a train. They will be keeping me sane. Unstoppable, I ain't no time. I'm unstoppable, just like the train. I can't see nobody stopping us. We're unstoppable. Went through a whole lot of obstacles. I said we did the impossible. Run on the paper and fuck it up. Go hit the club and fuck it up. A whole lot of pace, we gon' get it back. You know we gon' get it back. I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable. Run on that paper and get it. Whatever it take, we gon' get it. You know ain't nobody stopping us. Mafia. All of my they mafia. Thought I told you we unstoppable. I can't see nobody stopping us. Mafia. I can't see nobody. All of their money, so all of their money.
gangsters. We say the army of friends. Can I preach? Can I preach? I gotta show my get it in. First, take your shit, do your thing, spend your money like money ain't shit. Got to blame it on Jesus. Hashtag damn for it. So many pretty girls around me and they wake it up. Keep up.
everybody. We just want to welcome you to tonight's broadcast of the GHSA Elite 8 quarterfinal matchup between the Chattooga Indians and the Swainsboro Tigers. Chattooga had to travel to Swainsboro, but it would be hard to even tell this was an away game with the crowd that we had turn out, and we've still got people filing in. I'm Casey Bryant with All on Georgia, and this is Guru, Don Foley. He's going to be giving us the play-by-play action. We just wanted to go ahead and take a minute, welcome everybody to the game, kind of recap Chattooga's season so far and where we are and how we got here and just all the excitement surrounding it.
It's definitely quite an atmosphere, Casey. Place packed on our side. Still some fans coming in right now. A lot of people, not just the pep buses, but coming in on their own. A long drive, a little over 4 hours, and we thought there'd be some problems with actually getting people in the stands and being able to find seats, but absolutely we're out of space, and I see some space on the home side, so I don't know if they'll let us have those seats, but right now just once in a lifetime kind of atmosphere. Chattooga trying to build up a program, something that they've had great success with years and years ago, and these boys now, first time in 25 years, got an Elite 8 spot looking for a trip to Georgia College in Milledgeville on Saturday. When you compare the two teams, watching them, it's one of those things where you say, that's why they dress up and play. You have no idea what can happen on any given night. Fortunately for us, stats and numbers go on our side. You're looking at a team here that hasn't lost since December 10th against a AAA team that is still in the playoffs in their Elite 8 in Calhoun, a game where Coach Groves himself will admit to you, we were just off. It was very much an out of rhythm early in the season game that helps you prepare for AA action. And now after playing a pretty strong schedule out of the region and then coming into this AA that's been touted at first as being a little subpar, not that competitive, well, the one constant is all their roads in the Region 7 AA led through Chattooga.
Right.
So a lot of those teams with 2 and some even 3 losses against a Chattooga team now playing a 19-10 Swainsboro. It's a very twisted little record there. Not quite sure what to think about that. They've had losses here at home, 2 in the past 3 weeks. 1 as recently as a week and a half ago. So it's not something where you're playing a team that just has complete dominance.
Right.
They have a strong region in 2AA, and they are the champs.
Right. So it's kind of, you can't compare apples and oranges, what we were talking about earlier, because you don't know until they get out here and they suit up. They're a very athletic team. We know that their crowd is going to be a little bit of a factor, but with as many people as what we brought, I think we're going to overtake that as well. And I'm hoping that the Indians come out and do what they've done so many times in the season, and that's just jump out to an early lead, take the crowd out of it, and just start dominating. And we've got such a gifted group of seniors on this team, and they've got so many hours on the court that, you know, I'm just really excited to see them play. I'm excited to see Devin come out and Clayton, and from top to bottom, our team, it's just a very special team, you know.
And this particular team they're playing tonight really measures up to the team, very much like the team we had last year. They're coming to it 19-10, 12-2 in their region, did fairly well. The numbers look good, but they're very upperclassmen light. Their player of the year for 2AA, Jalen McKinney, number 11. Watch for him tonight.
Right.
All the coaches in this region say he is definitely a leader, but a junior. Described a lot like little hand speed and shooting ability of an Isaiah Foster when you speak with him. However, he's a junior, again, with a lot of underclassmen out here. Senior guard Justin Harris, the only senior on this team. He comes in at 6'1", 165. Number 12 will be on the other side of that backcourt. For us, of course, we're going to watch our own number 3, Jay Shropshire, our Region 7 AA Player of the Year.
Right.
To see him, he's been coming along slowly since that Gordon Central game at the end of the season where he seemed to have tweaked that ankle just a little bit. He's been very, very careful about how he plays on it from game to game. But last game against a very highly favored Thomasville team came out like it was the first game of his life.
He did.
He jumped out of the place. The roof came off Tri-Pride Arena with the shots that he was able to make, and of course some memorable plays in the paint.
That
dunk was one that they'll remember for quite some time.
I said it was the dunk heard around the state because that just kind of solidified where Chattooga is. We've been overlooked all season, I feel like. Even I looked this week, I looked at Max Prep's rankings. I don't know why, because I knew I would be mad. And they still had Thomasville ahead of us after we beat Thomasville by 17 points. So, you know, I've been kind of disappointed with that when we have won over Cartersville, a 4A school who did go to the Sweet 16. We've had a lot of big wins that a lot of other sports pundits really don't give us the credit for. So, you know, I'm excited to see this team take the court and do what they've done all season long.
Well, the one thing I'll say about this team and comparing them to last year's Chattooga team and why you say it could be a little bit of a problem for them, the home team, Their last loss was here, February 4th against Wilkinson County, a 22-7 team. 5-point game. They hung in there with the 22-7 team. Very powerful, but it was just a week and a half prior. They played Bacon County. It has been a good program here from time to time down here. Lost easily to a 13-16 Bacon County team. Very much a mixed card. You just don't know who's going to come out on this court tonight.
Right. Well, I'm excited to see. I know that Jay's going to come out on this court, and Jay's averaging 18 points a game, and Jay just found out today he's advanced to the third round of the National High School Dunk Competition that he's entered, and so all of the fans, our starting lineup tonight, we're going to have a senior Isaiah Foster. Isaiah, I think, is averaging 13.9 points per game right now. He'll be starting tonight. He wears the number 2. It's taken me this long to figure out which Foster twin is which thankfully one of them grew out their hair, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. I can tell them apart now. But even last night when we were making the graphics, I was like, yeah, number 2 is Isaiah. So
Isaiah, definitely one of those players where he easily, just like Jay, could have been player of the year in this region.
Right.
Makes a lot of plays happen. He's really the cog this team spins around. And until the past 3-4 games, it has been really dependent around him and how he plays. But we have seen a different hero come out of each of the last 4 games.
We really have.
We saw Clayton Johnson at the end of the season come off, the regular season action, come off the bench. We saw Montavia Shropshire really save the day in the first round. And then
Devin Price has picked
Devin
it up.
Price
in
in the last game, Sweet 16 with Thomasville. He comes out and holds the 6'8" Arkansas commit to his 24 points and 13 rebounds. And
Devin had 20 rebounds in that game. 20. He is a sophomore.
For you basketball fans out there, half of them were on the offensive glass in front of a 6'8" and 6'9" forward.
Even some of the pictures I saw, it looked like Devin was jumping up to that kid's knees. That's where his feet were. So he had the best game of his career so far.
Absolutely. Devin Price looked great out there. Jay Shropshire, again, in those final rounds now of the highschoolslam.com competition, doing very well in that and making a lot of headlines here in Chattooga County, but also down here in Swainsboro, talking to the coaches from the region today that we do know. They definitely have their eyes on him.
Right.
But like last week, a lot of people are watching what they see on YouTube, what they hear from others.
Right.
Jay Shropshire's in a slam dunk competition. Isaiah Foster and Isaac Foster, the twins that are two-way stars. But that's when people like Devin Price jump up. That's when people like a Clayton Johnson pop up.
And
Who's going to be there tonight?
We've got Isaac Foster, who right now is leading the team in the three-point shots. I think he's averaging 38.2% right now, shooting from beyond the paint. So he's having a really good year. He's the one that you got to watch when he gets, which really, I mean, he's right behind his brother, which is right behind Jay. We've got 3 that are pretty solid three-point shooters. So. And
remember, this is a senior who came off of the bench, injured earlier in the year, but off of this deep drive into the football playoffs for Chattooga High School. Quarterback that ran his offense spectacularly, went way beyond their means. They played well. So to see him come out and actually play in the second half after injury, nice to see him contribute and get back to where he was. And there's number 11, Montavia Shropshire, Cassie.
Yes. Don's going to call me Cassie, and I'm going to answer because we've got this agreement going, and it's totally
Casey,
cool.
It's Casey, I got
my
it.
dad spelled my name the wrong way when I was born just to do this to me for my life. But this is Montavious, and if we can say his name, you're going to have to learn to say mine.
Absolutely.
Montavious is a senior. He's really came alive during the playoffs when we've needed him the most. He is starting tonight. So
Montavious really made his claim to fame just 2 weeks ago in the opening round, playing that Temple team from just outside of Atlanta. Again, you're talking about coaches going by what they've seen on the internet, what they've heard from the coaches that speak to them, the film they do get. And it's Jay, it's the Fosters. It was not Montavia Shropshire. All 4 of the other starters were cold in that first quarter. Montavia Shropshire did nothing less than 12 points in 4 minutes, forcing the first time out of the night.
Which is just amazing. I mean, and the thing about Montavious is he's always smiling, and he has got a beautiful smile. If he's not smiling, then we know something's going on because he will just look up at you, he'll foul somebody, and he'll just smile. He's just a very happy kid, but that's the thing about this team. They are full of happiness. They are full of heart. Even against Thomasville, they were there to pick up, offer a hand every single time. I see some of our players starting to walk out. Our coaches are huddled up here over to the side. Got Devin Price coming out. So they're going to take the court here in a few minutes, warm up for a little while, go back into the locker room, have their prayer, have a little chat and all that good stuff. So
They've spent the day here actually getting loose and enjoying it. They spent the night last night. They seem very comfortable. They've even talked mostly about their ping pong matches this morning. Right. So really staying loose, keeping a smile on their face. Their last road game, mind you, we have not been on the road since January 24th at Dade County. One of those regular season games where it was a slow, you went neck and neck through 3 quarters, and then in Dade County coach's own words, they blew the doors off the gym and took them with them. So hopefully you'll see a repeat of that tonight here in the Elite Eight.
Also, I just want to take 1 second to thank the Swainsboro High School staff. They have been super incredible today. We got here at 3 o'clock. They helped me get everything set up. The athletic director, Jansen Ware, all the coaches have came over to help. Some of their press actually has told me some behind-the-scenes stories of what their team has gone through. Their team actually lost their head coach last year, and this other coach, which has coached here in the past, came up, and when you see them run out tonight, there's a picture hanging on the wall over there of the coach that passed away last April. All the players will point to it. So this team has gone through a huge transition too, with a coach stepping up that was connected to the team, but he kind of had to come back and take the shoes for this team. So just want to give a big thanks to Swainsboro themselves.
Coach Andrews, absolutely a big staple in this community. He's here for 30 years, whether a coach, staff, teacher. He's played all those parts. Losing him was a big deal this past spring. But Bryce Hobbs taking it over. He is the head coach first year. He's also the defensive back coach for the football team. So they do have new blood in here, but it's somebody old as well. But losing Coach Andrews was a big shot to these guys. So they're regrouping a little bit.
Right.
We'll see exactly what comes out here tonight in the Elite Eight.
But just one look around the gym, and you can see all the banners that are hung up and the success that this basketball program has had. So Chattooga hasn't had quite the success of this school for this many years, but we are here. We are in the Elite Eight. We are in the quarterfinals, and we very much deserve to be here, and we're going to play and give them the run for their money.
Now, these are 2 teams that came in preseason. Chattooga, number 10th, and these young men came in 9th, 1 spot ahead. As we learned last week, though, with our Sweet 16 spot,
that's very true.
Thomasville came in preseason number 1.
Right.
So a lot of things change in 3 months of time, and that includes momentum for a Chattooga team that has won a record 26 games on their season now, and 22 consecutive, dating back to December 10th. So a lot of streaks on the line, a lot of pride on the line, but every one of these players would throw it all out for a win tonight and a trip to Milledgeville Saturday.
Well, Dawn, I'm about as excited as I could possibly be, so.
Absolutely the same here. We heard the crowd a little bit earlier. They took some wide shots of this crowd, and we definitely have them outnumbered here. 4.5-hour drive down I-16. For those of you who have ever taken the trip to Savannah, you know I-16 is a long stretch of road, and I say that with all
long,
due respect.
straight, boring, and you can pick
on.
up a little bit of speed on that road, you know.
Absolutely. Swainsboro Tigers again, 19-10. This is a different team when you look at them comparing the roster to roster than Thomasville. Their tallest guy, Eddie Roberts, a junior, 6'5", but a very slender 6'5" at 183. Nobody else comes close on the roster height-wise. This is a small team like Chattooga,
right?
Not as deep on the bench in numbers. You want to say maybe they have a little more talent on the bench, but I can't see that. We have done a lot of great subs in this last month and a half. And Coach Jared Gross, in his first 3 years, has really found a good chemistry for subbing in and out players and building great starting rotations. This year's unlike no other. Clayton Johnson comes in off the bench. Montavia Shropshire finding a starting spot. Really fun to watch. Jay Broom, who was hurt early in the year.
But Jay Broom is clutch. Jay Broom is going to hit a 3-pointer every single game. He's going to come up with, he adds 9 points a game just like it's nothing. He's like the silent player. You know he's there, and you know he's clutch, and you know he's going to be there. So he's always somebody good to count on.
Now, overall playoff record for Chattooga over the years, 9-18. After the win last week, 3-1 home mark, 6-17 away. Obviously, a lot of deep, lower-seeded games. This one is not a lower-seeded situation. These two went all the way to Locust Grove, a couple of hours a pop, just this past week to do a coin toss, being both the number 1 seeds remaining in this quarter of the bracket.
Right.
They did a toss. Our coach got the toss, called heads, went tails. It's 50-50. But it might be just what the doctor ordered to shake things up, because I'm going to tell you, the home crowd traveled all the way to Swainsboro.
We sure do. And just want to tell everybody back home, we're thinking about you. We know there's a couple of storms going on. Just batten down the hatches, take care of yourselves. I also want to thank the organizations. I want to thank Superintendent Jimmy Linderman for opening up the high school to allow the community to come and have a place together, to fellowship together, to experience the game together. Remnant Church is streaming the game also, so just want to thank them. While I know that God probably does not have a favorite in this game, this broadcaster sure does. So go Indians and praise the Lord. Just want to thank the community for all the support that y'all have given all on Georgia, and the sponsors that made this possible, that made everything happen for us, from Brighton Sons, which is a little bit of my favorite, you know. Buddy Hill, he always goes out above and beyond for all the sports teams. Harvey's South End Auto, all roads end at Harvey's. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. Dove's Flowers and Gifts, Blessed and Dressed, any kind of shirt you need, embroidery work. I flipped through their magazine the other day. They've got all kinds of beautiful stuff. You can have monogram design. They've got a cute little boutique with all the kinds of leggings, tops, bows, anything you could possibly want. Mohawk Industries, thank you so much for all you do for the community. Ken, Bruce, and Robert Patton, attorneys at law. They fight and they win for you. Chattooga Exhaust and Brakes, complete exhaust systems by locally owned professionals, which makes a difference, and the professional part really counts.
31 minutes remaining here in Swainsboro. We're in Emmanuel County, everybody. You're looking live right now at Swainsboro's Gymnasium, the Den, as these 19 and 10 Swainsboro Tigers get set to play for a trip to the Final Four. The Tigers actually have been to the Final Four just 3 years ago, a very solid team in 14 and in 15 with an Elite Eight and a Final Four trip. These Indians looking to get their first Final Four trip.
Yes.
And wanting it badly. A packed crowd here at the Den in Swainsboro. A couple of stats to keep in mind for tonight's game. A 6:30 tip-off time between these two.
Looks
Very
like all
similar
of our teams right over here, Dawn, about to come out. So they're clapping, they're ready, and we're ready to see them take it the court. Of course, it's just going to be for warm-up, and I didn't mean to cut
You're
you off.
fine. No,
I get
absolutely.
really
Much
excited.
more important.
I get really excited when I see them. So.
Coach Jared Gross, 68-12 in his first 3 years here at Chattooga High School. And for a lot of media critics who said the cupboard will go empty when his seniors leave,
Right.
he has spent the past 2 years making those seniors leaders on this team and bringing up their sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
If you do not believe me, if you have not seen them play before, watch the substitutions that are made. Watch the kind of attitude you get off the bench and when those subs come in and out. They very much lift each other up.
And if you are watching on YouTube, send us a little message. Tell us where you're watching from, whether it's on Facebook. And here comes our Indians.
And coming out on the court leading away, Devin Price.
And they are very appreciative of the fans, you can tell. Devin Price looks so happy to see so many people here.
The home crowd actually a little loud here to start, but one section, it is a student section. That's something I talked about with some of the coaches earlier. It is a very bizarre setup. We are in a pit gymnasium, for those of you who know what that means. The fans are up away from you, about 9 to 10 feet up. They are not on the court. They have one student section, and it actually favors the baseline of the offense in the first half.
Right.
Very unusual. It seems like you would flip that around. There has to be a history behind it, but nonetheless, coaches are extremely happy with having a quiet end in the second half.
Yes, definitely. And even their sound system, you know, they've got a couple of speakers set up in the student section, but that's about all that I see in here. So I'm kind of anxious to hear how it's going to sound when they start announcing.
Watching the Indians come out for warm-ups, a little hotter than they have been in warm-ups as of late. They've had a lot of time to play. They warmed up earlier today at East Georgia, just a mile down the road. Said they've had a really good time getting comfortable, played some ping pong, hung out in the rec room. All the trash talk was about ping pong. Everything about basketball was left behind them. They're now out here in the red and black, ready to play, and wearing the away crowd for the first time in some time.
Wow, Buffy Joe just showed me a picture of the sign of our scoreboard at Betty Wendell Field, and it looks like it's blown over, so y'all have had some wind there. If you have any pictures of any damage, send them on to All on Georgia. I'd love to see them.
And the crowd very loud and high. Student section that we just spoke of quieting down a little bit for Swainsboro with 28 till tip-off. But the Chattooga Indian faithful from the rail to the rafters here on the away side having no problem and actually looking for a little more space on the home side. We'll wonder if they'll give us a few of those seats. The Den actually very loud here in Swainsboro. Again, 19-10. They're 12-2 in the region, the 2 AA champs. And they actually have on their roster the 2 AA player of the year and junior Jalen McKinney. Watch for him, 5'11", 5'7", 155. Again, a junior guard for this team. We have our own region player of the year in Jay Shropshire. The 7 AA man has done a phenomenal job. He was extremely hot in January, took a tweak of the ankle is what it appeared to be against Gordon Central late in the game. They took him out, and since he's been very timid on it. Each game growing a little more confident, The output not the same, but then almost like he was awakened by something very important, the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. Thomasville comes to town, and all the talk in Atlanta was on how the seeds were way out of whack, how the rankings for preseason just did not make sense when it came to Chattooga because they play in a weak region. Well, the 6'8 Arkansas recruit and the 6'9 backup Titus Wright found out very quickly just how underrated they were, as they didn't just beat the team from Furniture Town, USA. They drug them up and down the Tri-Pride Arena floor. It was absolutely dominating.
By 17 points. 17 points. So that was very exciting. And also you have to remember we beat Cartersville, which was a 4A school, which made it into the Sweet 16. Rockmart was a Sweet 16 team that we beat by 30 points. So the whole weak region, we haven't played anybody. There's some sports pundits that just need to actually check the facts.
One thing to keep in mind with this team and playing the big team in Thomasville last week, and now a team a little smaller with a record that's a little shaky. You're not quite sure how to match that up. And welcome back.
Sorry, I was thirsty.
One thing to keep in mind is when they came into that game against Thomasville, a lot of talk was on how it's a smaller team, some even saying they live and die by the three-pointer. When you look, and that's true for many games in our regular season, but when you look at the stats, the Indians shot 18%, a dismal 18% from behind the three-point line in a game when they beat preseason number 1 Thomasville by 17. This team has not hit threes consistently in a while. If that opens up in any way, it can be a long night for the home team if things fall the way Chattooga hopes for.
Well, we're going to let y'all take in a couple of the sights and the sounds of the pregame. Our Indians are going to warm up for a little while, then they're going to go back in the locker room and come back out and take the court. We're 25 minutes away from tip-off.
Don't go to that link of that video that your friend sent you. We are here in 25 minutes, so keep the stream up. Make sure you're here.
Yes.
This game will go on all night till the winner and a trip to the Final Four for one of these teams is on the way. It's one tribe here at the Den in Swainsboro.
Yes, one Chattooga definitely showed up, so we're very excited, and we just want to welcome everybody to the broadcast, and we'll be back in just a few.
DC thinks a game. It's not a game. I can't see nobody stopping us. We're unstoppable. Went through a whole lot of obstacles. I said we did the impossible. Run out the paper and pick it up. Go hit the club and pick it up. A whole lot of points, we gon' get it back. You know we gon' get it back. I can't see nobody stopping us. Unstoppable. Run out the paper and get it. Whatever it takes, we gon' get it. You know ain't nobody stopping us. Mafia. I'm on my mafia. Thought I told you we unstoppable. I just spent the brick on my Jesus. You gotta put God first. I swear I turned it to believers. This came for hard work. Gotta hustle, stay down with your people. Can't betray the one who feeds you. No competition, we are equal. Can't let nobody mislead you. No way from Summer Hill. It's only one of him. So Atlanta number Lions Hill. We was raised not to have a feel. When nothing down for so many feels. So many nights I cried and swore. So many nights I cried and swore. All of these lame. Photo ready but without the frame. Just spent the quarter on my wrist and chain. If you get caught you better not mention name. Blow almost more than a train. They will be keeping me sane. Unstoppable, I ain't no time. Unstoppable, just like the can't see nobody stopping us. Mafia, mafia, mafia. I can't see nobody, all of their money, so all of their money.
everybody. Just want to welcome you back to the live stream of the Chattooga Indians Elite 8 game versus the Swainsboro Tigers. I'm Casey Bryant with All On Georgia, and this is Don Foley. He's the basketball guru who's going to be needing some oxygen. In about 15 minutes, he's already going to be out of air because we know this game's going to be action-packed and super fast.
Swainsboro Tigers absolutely have brought the students section tonight. Seems to be a lot of pregame things they're talking about here at the Den here in Swainsboro. This 19-10 team has 2 home losses just in the past 3 weeks alone. Very mixed record as they come in and play this 26-1 on the road for the first time in quite some time. Chattooga Indians squad. Watching warm-ups here, the first thing we noticed, Casey, we talked about it a little bit. We are in a pit gymnasium with the student section actually in front of the home offense in the first court. Very befuddling to why you'd have that. I'm sure there's some history behind it.
Right.
But as everybody who knows, who's watches Chattooga this year knows, much more a hotter team in the second half and a quiet end of the court. You can't help but think that'll be favorable. A lot of tension as the crowds have yelled out a little bit here. A lot of quiet confidence. We're hoping we see some great basketball tonight as the trip to the Final Four is on the line.
Yes, we're super excited. I will say that it looks like I am terrible with numbers. I'm estimating we've got 400 people in red behind us.
Easily, yes, ma'am.
This gym holds 1,200, so it holds just a little bit less than the Tri-Pride Arena, and Chattooga's taking up half of it. I'm very, very proud of our turnout when Devin Price came out on the court. I mean, the look on his face of the appreciation of the people who made the 4.5-hour trip here to cheer them on. You could just see it shine all over his face. I mean, it means the world to have one Chattooga show up. One Chattooga is here, and so we're really, really super excited.
Junior guard Jalen McKinney, 5'7", 155, is the man to watch for this team. They're the 2AA Player of the Year. We are actually sporting our own and 7AA Player of the Year, Jay Shropshire, the senior who actually has had a strong season and one of your finalists in the highschoolslam.com competition, has made a lot of headway, really opening things back up after a slow postseason last week against Thomasville and bringing the house down to Tri-Pride Arena with a huge thunderous dunk over 6'8" Reggie Perry and 6'9" Titus Wright. A lot of heroes come off this bench too. We look at people like Clayton Johnson, Devin Price now in a starting position, Montavious Shropshire now in a starting position. A lot of good players that come off this bench very deep against a Swainsboro team that seems to match up size-wise quite nicely for this Indians team on the road today.
Right. Even though Jay has been a little bit slower and taking care of his ankle, he still is our lead scorer right now, averaging 18 points a game. When he's got the ball, you know he's going to do something. The dunk that he had against Temple was probably the highlight of the season for me so far because it came over a 6'8" person, and it just pretty much solidified where we were. I said it was the dunk heard around the state because I think finally people realize that Chattooga is here. And it's for real, you know. A lot of the sports pundits have discredited Chattooga, but I'm very excited about this game. I'm so super proud of the crowd that turned out. I'm so excited about the people who are watching at home, who are watching at the high school. I know that we've had a little bit of wind and storms today, so I thank you for the crowd that's gathered there. Remnant Church was broadcasting it as well. I'm sure that there's other places that are streaming the game, so just thankful for all the community support back home. And very thankful that I'm able to do this for y'all. So hope you enjoy the broadcast. And just send us shout-outs. Let us know where you're from. Maybe during halftime we can do a FaceTime call or something to see some of the groups that are gathered because we'd love to see you.
The Chattooga Indians come into tonight's game with not a single AA loss in this season. They have not lost a AA road game since the model region championship game last year. It's been quite some time. This team plays well on the road. You never know if it's going to be first, second, third, or fourth quarter when they explode, but when they do, they literally blow the doors off visiting gyms for that 1 to 2 quarters. You want to know when it's going to happen. Playing against a strong student section in the first half here, you wonder if they're going to actually light it up here or not. I saw a few of them during warm-ups here look up at this crowd, and they really seem to enjoy the atmosphere. Big smiles on their face. They seem a little looser even than they did with a packed 1,200-seat Tri-Pride Arena just a few days ago. So now you've got this team, Swainsboro at 19-10, 12-2 in their region, a region champs. But they play in another region that some of the critics will say a little weak this year, where they beat each other up. They suffer losses all the way across the board. 2 losses here at the Den in the past month, something Chattooga has not known in quite some time. And they're hoping to take advantage of that tonight as a trip to the Final Four on the line in Milledgeville. A 4 o'clock tip for the winner here. They'll play the winner of Laney and Dublin, also playing today. And that'll be Saturday afternoon.
Right. I just got a text message from Superintendent Jimmy Linderman, and he said that it looks like the scoreboard did not make it, but everything else is good at home and good at the school and good with the school system. So we can throw up another scoreboard, and honestly, we could use a new one and get a new Buddy Wendell Field sign underneath it.
Well, that's one scoreboard ripped down. I'm sure the Indians will be more than happy to rip down another one here tonight at the Den in Swainsboro.
And also, please make sure you will have a little, you will have a little bit of going on. Thank you very much.
The GHSA and its member schools have made a commitment to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at all GHSA sanctioned events. Profanity, degrading remarks, and intimidating actions directed at officials or competitors will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the event site. Spectators are not allowed in the competition area during warm-ups or while the contest is being conducted. Thank you in cooperation with the promotion of good sportsmanship at tonight's event. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're standing in their own walls, we ask that you make your way to a seat. If you can find a seat, make your way to it. Thank you very much.
We're bringing it to you live right now. I do believe we're fixing to have the national anthem. Well, their fan section is definitely vocal. Well, that was absolutely a beautiful national anthem. Now it's time for our starting lineup.
Isaiah Foster, one of the standouts this year, point guard. Jay Shropshire now your 7AA Player of the Year. Devin Price, 20 rebounds last week. On SEC commit, Reggie Perry comes out. Montavious Shropshire, the hero of the Temple game in round 1 with 12 points in the opening quarter. And Isaac Foster, the quarterback of the hardwood and the turf, coming out for the top 5. A great looking lineup as we watch the starting 5 come out now for Swainsboro.
Dawn, it's so loud in here. I'm sitting beside you and I can't hear a word you're saying.
You would think it's an amazing home court advantage, but as we talked before the game, this is a team that's lost many times here at home this year. We have not seen a home loss since last playoffs last year. This team has a 19-10 record, and they've lost twice here in the past 3 weeks. You just don't know who's going to show up. We'll have to see it. It's going to be a tale of the regions. South Georgia Region 2A, number 11 is the MVP of that region, and Jalen McKinney, the junior, on a team that is very underclassmen heavy. We'll see if their region player of the year will do battle with ours and be able to hang tough. We have a deep bench, but Swainsboro looking to make history. They were in the Final Four just a couple of years ago and Elite 8 the year before that. Now Chattooga coming up, looking for a 27-1 record and a trip to Milledgeville in just a few days, Cassie. The crowd is electric.
I've mentioned it before, and I think Dawn's just going to call me Cassie no matter what I say.
I owe you one. I owe you 40.
It's okay. We've got Jay coming out for the jump ball, so...
The one advantage they have is one man of height, Eddie Roberts, the 6'5 junior. The rest of the way, it's a matchup. Jay has done very well when feeling great at these kind of tips. We'll see how this goes as this packed house in Swainsboro gets ready to tip things off at the Den.
It's game time, Elite 8.
And Chattooga wins the tip. Isaac Foster on the away sideline goes to his brother Isaiah. Jay in the wing looking. Finds a cutting Foster. Shropshire goes baseline. A little action. Nothing is called. They'll let that go. Now Swainsboro driving. One man and an outlet. Chattooga looking for a block shot. It's going to come off the rim. Belongs to the Indians. Both teams looking very jittery to start off this game at the Den. Now the Indians. Shropshire, the 7AA Player of the Year on the wing. At the top, Isaiah Foster and his 1,500-plus points. Isaac fakes the 3. Tries to dribble off of traffic, nothing. Now Shropshire. Foster double teamed and should be. Devin Price down near the paint waiting. Looks for a cut. The left-handed killer loses one. He's back on the baseline looking for a pass or a shot. Deflected. There's going to be a drive, and Devin Price is going to get no.
Devin Price came
Denied
up with
a lot of
rebound.
action in the paint. Isaiah, the left-handed killer, bang! That 3 was heard all the way to Chattanooga. And we have travel in the backcourt. Indians ball. A huge bomb, Casey. A huge bomb.
Yes.
6'5" doesn't do you much well if you're dropping them from 24. A quick 3-0 lead for the Indians here in South Georgia. Isaiah Foster, the left-handed killer with 1,500 plus, has it at the top. He's getting pressure from the Player of the Year in 2A. In the corner, Isaac looking. They're going to go to Shropshire. Will they get one? And one! Huge quick lead as this team is muscling through the Final Four and Elite 8 finalists just 2 years ago. And this is a stunned crowd already, a minute and a half in. Great to hear. Will the and one go? Why not?
All
6-0
smiles.
Indians.
All smiles.
And now the full court press. They look. They're going to get it across. Great bust. Blind pass out of the hands. Bryce Hobbs' team is in complete disarray. This crowd came out on fire for half an hour. We really enjoyed the atmosphere. Stunned. Now, Foster against the 2A Player of the Year, looking for a screen. He has double screens. Price cuts down low. Monty Shropshire, why not from three? Just misses the mark. Saving the ball. No, turnover the Indians once again. Devin Price and another and one. Chattooga is on fire in Swainsboro.
Oh my goodness.
And this is in front of the student section. Second half where they're always a better team.
They look very stunned.
And the student
right now.
section is done. Timeout. Swainsboro. We said at the beginning of this game, the student section here in Swainsboro at the Den is in front of the home crowd, in front of the home shooters in the first half. Not the best of strategy for a team that is hot in the second. One of the few times Chattooga's come out in the first half, and it's right now when it couldn't mean more. 8-0 Chattooga with just a minute 49 into the first quarter, Casey. Swainsboro yet to find the points. 6'5" Roberts has done nothing more than get the tip and went straight to Chattooga. And since then, a block or two. The Indians, they played against bigger, and they dropped Goliath last week. This is a much shorter version. Goliath Jr. now. Devin Price looking for another point, and we're going to have a lane violation. It will go Swainsboro's way. Now down 8-0, yet to find the scoreboard.
You know,
Up comes
Devin
your
Price
player
is
of the
leading
year.
the team in rebounds. He averages 7.3 a game. He had 20 against Temple.
Eddie Roberts with the first points of the game for Swainsboro. 8-2 Chattooga. Full court presses on. The timeout has helped a little bit. They're looking. Wild pass
good
almost
job,
to
guys.
left-handed killer. Great blind pass to Devin Price. Misses the mark. Isaac Foster, the QB. Looked like he was hacked on the arms. We're going to get a jump ball, though, early. Isaac Foster and Eddie Roberts jawing just a little bit of pushing off one another. They felt they got tied up a little bit. 8-2 your score. 2 fouls early against Swainsboro. They were hoping for one more, but I'll tell you, it's been very favorable for Chattooga for the most part so far. Justin Harris, the senior guard, the only senior this team boasts, on the far side, the home sideline. And Jalen McKinney, the 2 AA player of the year, on the away side, the left sideline, facing Devin Price and Foster. Turnover on the double team. No, he gets it back. Yes, turnover again. Chattooga to Jay Shropshire. Missing layups. There are tons of layups being missed down here, Casey. McKinney goes up. He will not get the layup, but there will be the first foul of the night on the Big Red. It's going to be Jay Broom stopping the easy two, and we'll take it. But we're missing a lot of easy shots in the paint down here. A lot of challenges, but it's nothing we're not used to. We went against bigger just a few days ago. The 2 AA player of the year misses the layup and the first free throw. 8-2 your score with 5:16 remaining here in the first in Swainsboro. The Den is packed. Half red, half black. 8-3. Indians up 5. And a rare explosion of points early in the first quarter for the Indians at 26-1. They find it on the road in the Elite Eight. Isaiah Foster to Devin Price to Shropshire from outside. He's going to go to the rim. No. Going to pass out to Price, who can't find the rim. Missed shots. It's going to go the other way. Swainsboro will get the ball. Since Bryce Hobbs' timeout, Bryce Hobbs, first-year coach here for Swainsboro, there have been no points. The Chattooga crowd voicing their concern after getting the first couple of fouls their way. Sometimes they go the other way, Casey. They're going to have to weigh and measure here, as Big Red fans are fighting very faithful out here. Full court press has been very good. McKinney gets trapped at the division line, and they're going to call a block against Jay Broom. It'll be his second early here in the first. Jalen McKinney, find out quickly why he is the 2A player of the year, trying to make things happen. But a lot of it he's trying to make happen on his own so far as he comes up across the division line. Down 5 with 5 to go. The Indians really showing and holding court against Swainsboro here in the first. Steal, no. We tried to get one. We're not going to get it. We're going to go out to the left wing. The senior guard goes for 3. Bang! A big shot for Justin Harris, the only senior on this squad. Indians only up 2. Scoreless since the timeout. Full court press both ways. Shropshire to Broom. We're in the front court. We'll go to Shropshire. We'll go to Isaiah Foster. He's going to go outside to Walker. The left-handed killer from 15 finds it. 10-6. Indians first to double digits. They'll stay in the full court press. McKinney has had a lot of pressure, and they're trying to find a way out of it. To the senior guard they go. Another great break. 2 teams that really break the press. McKinney driving with no outlet pass, and he'll take it himself, though. They've closed the gap to 2. Slight delay of game. Referee pointing that out. Serve is your warning with that ball being kicked away. They'll let the Chattooga 3
Now, what
come
was
in
that,
there.
Dawn?
Be a slight delay of game there as they came after the score. The ball kicked away a little bit. You're not to do anything to impede that ball going anywhere other than back in the other team's hands.
Gotcha.
We have subs back into the game now. Montavious back in. The Foster's back in. Clayton Johnson, the sophomore, the new man on the court. He has had a great season. Montavious Shropshire, pressure from the two-way guard, player of the year. Looking from 17 is Schropp. Bang! 12-8.
Yes.
Swainsboro giving their best. We have moving screens, you think they would call. Lots of pressure, breaking the press fairly easily, but a lot of pressure. It will stay Swainsboro's ball. This is just as exciting, Casey, as you thought it would be.
Yes, it is. I hope that everyone back at home at CHS, Superintendent Jimmy Linderman told me y'all had about 150 there, so I hope y'all are enjoying it as much as we are.
Jalen McKinney has been quite a show, the little shooting guard, point guard for Swainsboro, the junior 2A player of the year. Swainsboro looking for some action, and they have got a control foul against Swainsboro, and that is going to go the way of the Indians. The referees really are keeping the eye on their zones, not a lot of ball watching. Clayton Johnson will bring it in up in the backcourt. They're actually going to take it back the whole 94 feet. Isaac Foster, your quarterback of the hardwood. 12-8 Indians on the road, a 4.5-hour road trip. Feels like a home game here in the Den. You are in a pit gymnasium here in Emmanuel County, and the student section right behind the boards of the Indian offense in the first half. Second half board, clear as a whistle. It still befuddles these commentators. Indians with the ball up 4, 3 to go in the first. They're swinging the ball in almost a flex offense. Isaac looks for a drive. He won't get it. Shropshire from outside. They're going to pace it just a little bit. Drive by Isaac. Another block by the big 6'5" man, but the Indians retrieve. Left-handed killer looking for the ball. It's going to be tipped away by Swainsboro. Loose balls everywhere. Again, eating wood. Chattooga doing it on the road. Holding ball and keeping alive. Isaiah Foster, the left-handed senior, slowing things down. Really crossing up Swainsboro. Outlet pass to big Shropshire, and now the other Shropshire, Montavious. Pass a little off mark. Jay's going to drive the lane and misses. A lot of problem in the paint. Indians up 4. Swainsboro driving. And they have got a travel call against the Swainsboro crowd looking for a foul. But, folks, you got to get to the foul somehow, and you got to travel. You got to dribble there. Traveling Swainsboro. This team, definitely a team that plays a lot of one-on-one ball. Not a lot of flex offense, not a lot of plays. It's almost like the highest level of AAU travel ball you've ever seen. A lot of showing out. They are talented, but team ball could prevail if they continue for the Indians. Just off the mark, though, for Montavious, trying to relive a little of that tempo magic from round 1. In the front court for Swainsboro, they're down. The 6'5" giant is double and triple teamed, and it looks like they're going to give him a foul, and we'll see if they call it on. They're looking at Jay Broom. If it is, that's his third. Four-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the first. Indians holding the lead the whole way. Chattooga jumped out to a huge 8-0 lead in the first less than 2 minutes. Bryce Hobbs, first-year coach, had to call a timeout quickly. Since then, they've turned things around. Lots of subs for both teams. Now Devin Price back in the game. 12-9 advantage Indians with 2:05 to go here at the Den. Number 1, Eddie Roberts, the only man of height on this team, 6'5" junior, bottoms it. 2-point lead for Chattooga. Swainsboro's outscored the Indians 10-4 since the timeout 4 minutes ago. Shropshire to drive, looks for it, and nothing going in the paint for the Indians. They'll have to find a way to beat that rim. It looked like a nice clean strip down in the paint by Isaac Foster, but they're going to call another foul. Lots of fouls tonight, Casey.
There has been.
And now the only senior on the team, Justin Harris, 6 foot, 165, goes to tie things up for the home team, Swainsboro. A pair of number 1 seeds here battling out for one of the 4 Final Four spots in Milledgeville. He'll miss. And now the Swainsboro staff comes by and says it is at capacity. The Den is sold out for this trip to the Final Four. He'll make the second of the 2. 12-11 Chattooga, 150 remaining in the first. Full court press for both teams stays intact. We're going to go to Clayton Johnson, the sophomore from the corner, just misses.
Montavious came up with her.
Montavious, great rebound.
Yes.
Jay Shropshire looking to drive the paint, finds a pass to Devin Price. The glass and the rim not friendly on this end of the court.
They really
Anything in the
are
paint.
not. No. But the good thing is we keep shooting and eventually they're going to drop.
Back and forth they go, just like with Thomasville 6 days ago. The two-way
Yes, and
play
I
of the year.
didn't think there was going to be a game that was as intense as Thomasville, but I'm going to tell you, this one is.
Very intense. Swainsboro will shoot from three. They'll miss the mark. Having to find an answer in the paint is what the Indians will need. They get in there, plenty of great passes, but nothing falling over the rim. And now Montavious Shropshire from the wing looks for a pass. It'll be a slight travel, but a travel all the same. 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Indians holding a 1-point lead. Jared Gross, Bryce Hobbs, a pair of fairly new coaches. Gross in his third year, standing and walking the wood. Also Hobbs in his first year, both standing up. Lots of pressure in that front court defense for the Indians. They go to the corner looking for three to Swainsboro. They'll miss the mark. And Devin Price with the tip. Isaac Foster, it is 2-on-2. Will they go? Layup. Isaac Foster, the true quarterback, with the first real points in the paint. 3-point lead, Chattooga. The number one seed's going at it. We're in the front court now, 30 to go in the first. Swainsboro down three. Lots of pressure in the front court by the red defense. They're going to drive. Anybody to block? Yes, and a miss. Isaac Foster at all 5'10", 5'11". Shropshire looking to go up. Looked like a little contact there from their big man, but they let that one go. Eddie Roberts, a formidable force. That 6'5" in the roster is a little misleading. He's every bit of 6'6", 6'7". Now, man coverage. 13 to go in the first. Indians up three. They're going to go to Isaac Foster. He's 35 feet out. Time is ticking. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Jay Shropshire from way down. He'll miss. The rebound will be Devin Price. No. Your quarter elapses at the Den. And after 8 minutes of play, with 24 to go, Chattooga 14, Swainsboro 11. This crowd is electric in Chattooga. If you're still open, and I hear you are, back at the Indians warehouse, it's a packed house here. I don't know how anybody's left in Somerville.
You know what? That's what I'm saying. And right now I looked, and we've got about 700 people viewing the game right now, and I'm like, where are these people coming from? Because everybody's here.
That's right.
Jimmy Linderman said there was about 150 people at the high school, so we hope that you're enjoying the broadcast. This game is just as good as the game we left off from. Our team came out. They are playing. It's very intense. We're up by 3 at the end of the first quarter, but it's been crazy.
If you're watching this game and you saw the first 8 minutes, the Indians have one problem, and they're in the paint. They are getting bottom side, for those of you that understand. They are against the glass. Layups simply aren't going in. If half of those missed layups go in, this is a 10-point, 12-point ball game.
Very easily.
How they're missing 1 and 2 2-foot shots has a lot to do with Eddie Roberts. He might not be the most accurate on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, he's long, very long. 6'5" on the roster, the only guy of height on this Swainsboro roster. But I'm going to tell you, he's not 6'5".
No, he's
We just
not.
saw Arkansas commit Reggie Perry firsthand at 6'8".
Right.
He's at least 6'7", if
I
not
agree.
matching the 6'8".
I agree totally.
Indians with the ball in the front court, starting the second, up 3. They have not switched up defenses. We heard Swainsboro switches up defenses a lot. No different look. Isaiah Foster, the left-handed killer with the blind pass. We're trapped in the corner. Devin Price looking. He has an outlet pass to Montavious. Rifle to Jay, the left-handed killer with single-hand coverage. He'll drive. He looks, drives past 3. Nice pass, and the glass goes in. Devin Price, the hero from the Sweet 16, back for the 8. A 5-point lead. If the shots start to fall, the Waffle House could get crowded early in Emmanuel County.
It's going to be.
Swainsboro, great pass down low. Blind pass from about 25 feet away, a 3-point lead. One of the rare little moves on the Swainsboro offense. Indians again, lots of high screens looking. Isaac very calm, Jay very calm. The left-handed killer looking to drive. He's going to spin baseline, get some action, and he'll get it. And finally, Eddie Roberts will draw his first foul of the night. And the first thing I noticed, Casey, Eddie Roberts, first foul, got a lot. They're letting him play a little tough. But the first one he gets at 6:55 in the second, and he doesn't like it already. That doesn't bode well. Hey, we're not here for the away team, but they better calm down. He's the only guy of size they have.
Right.
And now the left-handed killer with over 1,500 points in his career goes to add to that mark. First of two. Good. 4-point lead.
You're not gonna. He's not gonna miss. I mean, he had 8 free throws in the fourth quarter.
He was 8 of 8 in a foul-heavy game against Thomasville just last week. Will he hit one more? Let's keep the party
Of
going.
course he will.
Another. He hits both ends. 18-13, a 5-point lead in Swainsboro. Swainsboro looking for answers. Lots of front court defense by the Indians. Couple of good passes by the Tigers as they look once again. Wide open on the wing? No, they'll go inside. Passes are slightly off the mark. Indians defense is swarming. The left-handed killer. He's going to go one-on-one. Can he get it? No, but he'll be out of bounds on the senior guard. A great challenge. Fun basketball to watch here at the Den.
Yes, Isaiah Foster always comes up with the steals.
I think Isaiah has actually found somebody who'll match him speed for speed in senior Justin Harris. 2 great fast guards. And now on the floor, dribbling his way up. He looks, it will not fall. It's going to be off the white foot. It's going to belong to Chattooga. Again, Isaiah Foster, the many time first-team region player, dribbling up amongst the trees from the ground. Driving as Isaac, he loses the ball. The player of the year in 2 ways, all alone, tries to get one in, and he will. Back to a 3-point game. Jalen McKinney, the junior. And now the Indians, who have yet to relinquish the lead on the road, feeling very confident. They spent the night here yesterday from outside. Shropshire, good! His 3 has been so cold since Gordon Central at the end of the regular. And now, 2 for 3 in the last 3. Misses the mark. The Indians look to get that ball. Swainsboro winning the ball. The referee's conferring. Very quiet. It appears to stay in Swainsboro's side. A 6-point lead. Swainsboro having trouble making a big dent. Clayton Johnson coming to the table. He won't get in this time, but the next dead ball. The 2A player of the year getting double teamed. 6-point lead. Under 6 to go. 21-15 Chattooga. Player of the year for the region? No, he'll pass off to the right wing looking for 3. Bottom. The junior-senior guard combination. We've said it all year. Senior guard's important. That's why we have a whole stable of them. 21-18, and the Indians calm in the pressure. They have a man on his back. Isaiah Foster gets fouled, maybe by 1, maybe 2 players. Bryce Hobb, the head coach for Swainsboro, not happy about that, Casey.
Right.
You're talking about a team, if you just tuned in, 26-1, missed, I am going to guess, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 shots from a foot away in the first quarter. Not challenged. All defensive challenges from the backside. The rim just not being kind. If those fall, this game is way out of hand. Right now, it's just a 4-point lead. The Indians very calm now. As a result, Swainsboro's backed off that full court press, dust to touch.
Right.
Now sophomore Clayton Johnson back in as Coach Gross continues the sling of subs over the past now 11 minutes of this game.
Right. And you're right, Don. If any of those short shots would have fallen, we'd be up by 10 points. 10 more points than we are right now. So.
And again, it's bottom of the net for Isaiah Foster. 5-point lead, 5:25 remaining in the first half at the Den. A student section ravaging these guys, but it doesn't matter. The Indians enjoying it. There is traffic down in the paint. They're going to call a foul instead of a ball tied up. They're much closer than we are. We'll give them the credit. Lots of fouls. 12 team fouls already called total when there's 5 minutes remaining. And now McKinney under his own basket for Swainsboro, looking for a cutting man, finds a couple, and he'll miss the layup from point-blank range. The Indians with the ball, double team in the backcourt.
Got it out.
Glenn Walker now with the ball as he comes in off the bench. Isaac Foster, the quarterback, looking. He's going to drive, and just in and out of the rim. Indians save it, but it's going to go in the hands of Swainsboro, and they're going to call Mr. Walker with a foul. They'll now be in the bonus with 5 minutes remaining in the half. Just a ton of fouls here, Casey.
Yes.
One noticeable difference, these past 4 minutes they've been enjoying. 7AA Player of the Year, Jay Shropshire, has not been on the court. He's now back in down low in the block opposite of Devin Price.
That's one thing with the Thomasville game. All of our players came back into the fourth quarter. They were rested. They were ready to go, and it definitely showed.
The substitutes on the bench over here for Swainsboro, waiting patiently, their T-shirts on. Chattooga in and out, playing very deep here in 2017. And now McKinney, player of the year in 2A, finds the bottom. A 3-point game with 4:59 remaining in the second. Chattooga looks a little mild pressure at the timeline in the backcourt. The Fosters and Devin Price. Upperclassmen guards versus upperclassmen guards. Shropshire gets at the Foster. Down low to the left-handed killer. Will he pass? Will he shoot? Shropshire tip pass to Isaac Foster. They're going to call it travel. Not a lot of disagreement from our away bench. We'll watch carefully, see how that transpires. Jared Gross really managing this bench very well tonight. Chattooga now with 7 fouls, everything in the bonus for Swainsboro. We're 1 away. Swainsboro driving again. They don't look for a pass, and they're going to call it travel. Once again, you have to get the ball to the foul. If you travel, this isn't football. You can't run the veer. Right. It's going to go the other way.
Exactly.
Now up 3, the Indians. No press this time. They're getting a little winded. Swainsboro's press has fallen off quite a bit. The left-handed killer. No, they'll miss. Great rebound by Devin Price. This one, no good. They're going to call a foul on Clayton Johnson, the sophomore. Clayton Johnson has been giving these guys fits in his few minutes on the court.
He sure has.
And now Montavious Shropshire in. This is his 8th set of subs in 12 minutes.
Coach Gross does a very good job managing his team, making sure that everybody stays fresh, that everybody's rested.
The shot's not falling well from point-blank range in the first quarter. Now starting to a little. The Indians up 3. Swainsboro yet to even touch their bench, and you can tell it by the full-court press starting to get a touch winded. Hopefully that'll benefit these Indians on the road. The other upperclassman guard, Justin Harris, the 6-foot senior, hits the front of 2, looking to make it a 1-point game for the home team here at the pit in Swainsboro. Will he? No. In and out. But he's going to follow up. Layup is good. Swainsboro has tied the game up. Jamal Watkins, the first tie since 0-0. Isaac Foster looking. He goes down in the corner, holds his dribble. Coverage is tight out here. They go down low to Clayton Johnson. The 30-foot blind pass to the sophomore. Back to a 2-point lead for the Indians. These number 1 seeds battling it out at the pit. 3:51 to go. 25-23 Indians. The 2A player of the year under a lot of pressure from the sophomore. And they're going to get Isaac for one more foul. He's going to force Devin Price to come back in. And nothing wrong with bringing a guy off the bench, especially someone who got 20 rebounds on an Arkansas commit 6 nights ago. If he's who's coming off the bench, you're going to have a long night if things go your way. 9 fouls against Chattooga with just under 4 minutes remaining here at the pit. But 7 as well against Swainsboro. Fairly evenly called. They're calling a lot of fouls tonight. 1-point game. Swainsboro looking to tie the game up for the second time tonight. You're looking at number 11, Jalen McKinney, the 2A player of the year, trying to single-handedly carry this offensive output. We're knotted up at 25, 3:40 to go. Isaiah Foster in the backcourt. He'll cross to Clayton Johnson. He's got a cutting Montavious Shropshire. He'll hand it to the left-handed killer. Left-handed killer with the senior guard on him. Can he hold him? Montavious from 30 away will pass to Clayton. Lots of skip passes. We're going down low to Devin. Devin will miss. The rebound, good! Your 7AA player of the year, Jay Shropshire, starting to get a little strength in that ankle.
Finally.
2-point lead, 3:10 remaining here at the pit. Swainsboro's 2A player of the year trying to single-handedly carry this offensive output. Screens, and more screens. He's trapped on the wing. Bad pass, and they're going to feel it. Shropshire with the ball. Passes to the left-handed killer behind the back. And a foul on your player of the year in 2A.
That's one thing about our players. You watch them do moves, and sometimes you just think, well, that's not even possible. Our players are so athletic.
This team is playing as deep as ever. We've always subbed a good 5 in and out. All 5, 10 players playing strong, and now the bottom of the net being found at point-blank range in the second. Student section here at the pit is right in front of the offense in the first half. The left-handed killer, that's why you kill him. There's one. Now, Foster, who's hit nothing but the bottom of the net. It sounds like a horse eating apples here at the pit every time he shoots. Looking for a 4-point lead, 2:55 remaining. Both these number 1 seeds looking for a chance to get to Milledgeville in the Final Four. Bang! Again, 4-point lead. Swainsboro has not hit the bench. They've had full court press that's tapering off. They're down 4 at the pit. This is the team that's lost 2 at home in the past 3 weeks. Very shaky record-wise. They're looking for some sort of offense other than Mr. 11, Jalen McKinney. They're going to drive. Good pass down the baseline. Can the Indians stop? No, not that time. 2-point lead. The Indians hold court here at the pit. 4 hours away at Emmanuel County, and half this gym is red. They'll go to Devin Price. He's going to miss. A lot of missed shots from the paint. McKinney in the front court looking. He'll miss the layup. He'll miss point-blank range. Lots of missed shots. Another tie. The senior guard, Justin Harris, the only senior for Swainsboro. Another tie here at the pit. 29 all. The left-handed killer. Big pass to Montavious. Back to one of the leading scorers in Northwest Georgia history. 2 minutes remaining, and now the crowd comes alive at the home. Red and black all over the pit. Great blind pass. Sorry, folks. Our players of the year don't just shoot. They blind pass in the paint amongst the trees. A 2-point lead, 1:45 remaining. Again, Jalen McKinney clearly winded, but he's still hitting shots. They need to find other answers. They've had a couple of great cutting plays, but that's it. 1.5 minutes remaining. One-on-one basketball again. They're going to call it again on the sophomore. Number 10, Clayton Johnson. They're calling a ton of fouls tonight, both ways. They're now in the double bonus. Number 35, Jamal Watkins, who tied it up earlier for the Swainsboro Tigers, now trying to do it again with a pair of free throws. The crowd quiets for this hometown free throw shooter, and we'll see what happens. Did not help a bit. Round and round she goes, and it's not to the bottom of the net. 2-point lead stays very true for Chattooga. Price and Shropshire down on the blocks for the Indians. Lots of subs all night. Misses both. They're starting to get winded at the pit. Can we get shots to fall now? 1:28 remaining. A little three-quarter press. Devin Price open. They go to Shropshire, one of your finalists in the high school slam dunk contest. And now they've got a rejected shot, but it's right back to the Indians. Jay Shropshire. He's going to hold court. Finds Montavious. We're back at half court. 1:12 remaining. The Indians up 2. This sophomore looks for a cut. Gonna miss the mark. First real off the mark pass for the night. Not bad in an Elite 8 game. 4 hours from home.
Hey, I would say there's 400 fans here. Easy, Don. I would say we've got
Easily.
400 in red.
The last number we just got from staff here, the pit officially fits only 700. A little clear out by your player of the year. They don't call it. Missed anyway. The Indians strip away. 53 to go. Long pass is lobbed a little short, but it will belong to the Indians. Fatigue is going to be the story of this game. If they do not find a way to dent their bench, this could be the last game in the postseason. The player of the year, number 11, McKinney, is fantastic, but he can't do it by himself.
Right. And even the number 1, the tall boy, is starting to wear down.
The left-handed killer on their tree from 23, miss. Rebound, Indians. Pass to Devin. He's going to mishandle. Going to be out of bounds, though, on the senior guard. 40 seconds remaining. Lots of fouls tonight. Don't let anybody go back home and tell you they weren't called fairly, at least in the first half. 18 fouls total, 10 and 8. The advantage going to the home. From outside, no. Swainsboro has the ball. 34 remaining. They're down 2 here in the first set of quarters. McKinney, your 2A player of the year, spin move to the baseline. Rejected! The sophomore sends the ball into the cheap seats. 20 rebounds against the Arkansas Sun. He wasn't enough. He sends that one back to Chattooga for the lead. No, nothing but air. 20 seconds remaining. The full court press back. No, the Indians got wind from way downtown. Shropshire feels it. So do you at Chattooga. 5-point lead.
We'll take
10 to
that.
go. Swainsboro is suffering. 2A player of the year pulls up, though. Is he true? He'll miss the mark.
Montavious comes down with the rebound.
2 from 70. Almost in. Your score from the
Good job,
pit.
Indians.
Exactly what we knew all along. Swainsboro 29, Your Indians.
Good job, Indians.
16 minutes away from the Final Four. 34. Casey, this is a half of basketball that you might not be able to make it back from.
I agree.
This game is everything it was cracked up to be. A pair of number 1 seeds who battled it out through their postseason, and just a few days ago made a decision to meet in Locust Grove. For those of you who know Locust Grove, home of the outlet malls.
Right.
And that's exactly where they met, in a parking lot. A coin toss was
I
debated.
think Rachel wanted to go and do a little bit of shopping.
And more, I'll tell you what, the coin toss, that was more of a deal than the actual coin toss. They actually talked about it several times back and forth, and it was, hey, who wants to call the toss? Home team wanted to call it. Finally, Coach Gross, being very hospitable, said, wait a minute. What if I want to call it, fighting for his 25-1, 26-1 team? They agree. Home team today, Swainsboro, Coach Hobbs, makes the coin toss. Jared calls it, and Coach Gross goes heads, it goes tails, 50-50. But I'll tell you what, if we could have taken a 5-point lead anywhere in this nation, we would have played in Los Angeles.
You're exactly
Great
right.
outcome for the Indians.
And you know, the fact is, the Indian Nation was going to have to travel this coming up weekend anyway. We just got on the road a little bit sooner, so.
And you look at this scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen back home, I know you're watching Jefferson's, you're watching it. All the eateries downtown, we're going to list those in just a second.
Okay, very
Chattooga
cool.
as well.
I know the high school's watching. I know all of Remnant Church is watching, so we just want to thank you for your support. I don't know how anybody's left in Chattooga County with as many fans that actually showed up and came and made the 4-hour drive. Our boys are very appreciative. We're going to run through some of our sponsors and kind of catch our breath a little bit. I know that Don probably needs oxygen at
Absolutely.
this point. I mean,
Well worth it.
yeah. You couldn't think it would get any better than last week, but it is.
We'll be right back here at the pit in Swainsboro. Your score,
1-2.
34-29. It's all tribe, one tribe here on All on Georgia.
One Chattooga. Welcome back. We're kicking off the third quarter now, so
Yep, Swainsboro down 5, 34-29 here at the pit. The Indians in a spirited half. Lots of missed opportunities in the paint, but up 5. Swainsboro has not hit their bench for subs. Chattooga over and over again. We've played very well in a foul-heavy game both ways. The two-way player of the year misses a shot. They are getting winded. We saw it in warm-ups here in the second half. The left-handed killer on the left wing, looking for action. 5-point lead, 7.5 left at the pit. Just 15.5 minutes remaining to Milledgeville in a Final Four spot for one of these teams. Big Red wanting it. Tribe from the corner, no. Jay Shropshire from 26. He's feeling it! It's back!
and that's Jay.
It's been missing since the Gordon Central game at the end of regular season. And now an 8-point lead. That with somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 missed points from point-blank range in the first half. They go for the drive. It is a miss. Indians with the rebound. And they're going to go down to the end of the court with no student section. Up 8. Will it be 11? No. Indians will get the rebound. The left-handed killer. He'll miss. And that will go the way of Swainsboro. Coach Jared Gross and everybody on their feet. A little concerned. Now, there were a few on this end, mind you. Swainsboro wasn't happy with. So we'll see how that goes. Jared Gross in one of his few animated moments talking to a referee. Jalen McKinney, the two-way player of the year. On Foster, drives, pulls up from 12. Good. It is a 6-point game at the pit. No subs yet for Swainsboro. The Indians, very sub-friendly. Clayton Johnson in the blind pass from the left-handed killer. An 8-point lead once again. 6:20 remaining in the third. And the Road Warriors up 8 here at the pit. McKinney, the two-way player of the year, again trying to do it all by himself. They're going to call a little check foul there on Isaiah Foster. They have battled out all night long here in Swainsboro, Casey.
Yes, they have.
Now the lone senior for Swainsboro, number 12, Justin Harris, inbound the ball.
Chattooga is up by 8 points at this point.
We have missed a ton in the paint in the first half. It is an 8-point lead. And now we have the ball as well at the pit. A Final Four team 2 years ago. Sweet 16, Elite 8 just a couple of years ago. This team, a 1 seed, but really having problems at home. Lots of passes. Team ball to death at the pit. 10-point lead. Shooting well below 50% in the first half. And this two-guard heavy team is down 10. The senior guard misses air ball on his student side of the court. Foster will get fouled from behind. Great call, number 12, Justin Harris. There have been lots of calls both these coaches disagreed with. From our vantage point, not a bad call all the way around. Haven't seen a lot of bad calls, Casey,
Right.
but a lot of calls.
Right.
And now what appears to be a home crowd, which is just red heavy on half of this gym at the pit in Emmanuel County. Here at Swainsboro, 10-point lead. Indians looking to make it 12, maybe 13, the left-handed killer on the left wing. Clock ticking away, 5:15 remaining in the third. The left-handed killer saving a pass. Shropshire to Clayton Johnson again, in and out. They're going to get a jump ball, and that will go the way of the Indians. Number 1, Eddie Roberts, the only man of size on that roster at 6'5". Really, probably 6'7" in person. Ties things up. Not a lot of fouls early in the third. It is going to be 10-point lead. Will we make it 12? Shropshire misses the mark. We are missing a lot of points from a foot away. First quarter went that way. Third quarter's going that way. But a 10-point lead, a gorgeous lead on the road in the Elite 8 if you're going to miss a lot of shots.
If you're going to miss a lot of shots, at least do it and be 10 points up.
The player of the year again trying to do it all on his own. He's running out of steam. Not a sub has come in for Swainsboro.
And that's what's going to be their
Starting 5 for the
downfall.
Indians. Now driving, will they get it? Misses the mark, Isaiah. Tigers with the ball. The Indians enjoying a 10-point lead with 4.5 to go in the third. 12.5 minutes away from Milledgeville. Both teams with upperclassmen guards. Very important this late in the season. They're going to call a check on Montavious Shropshire. Monty, the hero of the Temple game in round 1.
And Montavious is starting to kind of crack his smile, his signature smile. I can see his little dimple showing a little bit.
To watch him smile from more than 300 miles away, beautiful. And now McKinney again looking for a screen. This time the pass, down low to the big man. He can't hold on to the ball. The Indians are going to press on their own court. Another missed pass, though. That's a couple down low. Clayton on the back end of the pass, a little off the mark, but he's caught beautiful passes from outside for points. They're going to let him rest, and well-deserved for the sophomore. And now one of the starters back in for the Indians. Coach Gross, phenomenal job substituting the subs, doing even better. The senior and junior guard, McKinney, trying to carry this team all on his back. He's got passes, he won't take him. He goes off the glass, he'll miss the mark again. They go for a shot, air ball. The Indians with the ball in the lead. Up 10. One-on-one when we get it. A dozen at the pit. Timeout. Swainsboro. A bench full of subs, and not one of them ripped off their warm-ups. With 3:46 remaining in the third. Swainsboro 31. Chattooga 43. A 12-point lead and just under 12 to the 4. Casey, a remarkable job, really just persevering by the Indians.
Yes.
The Indians come into this game 26-1. That's 26 wins, a record all-time for wins in a season for the Chattooga Indians. 22 in a row. And unless Swainsboro changes something quickly, it's going to be a quick trip to the Waffle House, and they're going to go home from their own gym. The Indians with a 4-hour trip home. Man, I bet the time will pass like nothing. They enjoy a 12-point lead. One noticeable difference here in the second half, other than that Swainsboro's looking very winded, and that's because they got 5 guys playing their hearts out for them and nobody coming off the bench, is the fact that the fouls are not coming out. Obviously, these referees have tightened things up a little bit in the first half. As a result, things are loosening up defensively. They're not quite as aggressive. 3 total fouls called in the third half. And now your two-way player of the year, McKinney, coming across the court slowly.
And Chattooga's up by 12.
A 12-point lead by Chattooga. McKinney taking the left-handed killer on. He's under pressure. Goes to the Roberts at 6'7", and he'll make it. Back to a 10-point lead. Not much of a press, but one exists right now. Shropshire to Isaac Foster. They go to the home sideline. The left-handed killer looking for 3. No. They're letting time click away, and that is wonderful. We'll take it. LHK looks for 1. No. Montavious goes to Devin down low. Good!
Devin.
A dozen from the hero of Thomasville's game. And now the pit is silent on the home side. They're down 12. Cross up, great move by the right wing, and they'll miss the mark. Lots of air balls. The Indians will retrieve once again, up a dozen. 11 minutes to the 4. Isaac Foster drives from outside. Shropshire from downtown. No! Jay's Nets have been singing all night. And now a very rare miss for Shropshire. The 3-point bomb that he's had all season that we've missed in the postseason now has come alive 4 hours from home. Inbounds for the Indians, who are enjoying a quiet second half side of the court. Good! 14-point lead, the biggest lead of the night for the Red. The Indians just over now 10 minutes away. They need answers. Swainsboro's bench quiet, only 5 starters, and that's all that's playing. Will they get the charge? The backside referee will call the block. 2 referees with a whistle. They let him call that. You could have went either way, I think, on that, Casey.
Right.
And now one of the 2 really active players for Swainsboro, the only senior on this team, Justin Harris, to shoot 2 to try to cut this to a 10-point lead for the Indians. We'd like if he missed.
And he did.
The Indians obviously have these guys winded. The conditioning for 4 months and all summer. Shropshire going for 3 with challenges. He'll miss. Isaac Foster. No. Lots of discombobulated play. Indians will lose the ball. Swainsboro, McKinney, the 2A player of the year, looking to take the Indians on single-handedly. Great pass to the 6'7" Roberts, and we have got a travel on the hardwood. You got to get to the foul before you do that. That's going to be a travel.
That'll hurt your feelings.
If you're watching at Chattooga, Hobson, Hayes, Jefferson, wherever you are, It's a dozen-point lead for the Indians. 1:50 remaining here in the third. The Indians looking for 4. Great pass down low by the left-handed killer. They'll miss the mark. Devin Price gets double-teamed on a rebound. And it looks like they're going to get a foul on Montavious Shropshire again, Casey.
What a game. What a game. Chattooga is leading by a dozen points right now. Their crowd is still trying to stay into it, but they're struggling a little bit right now.
Swainsboro already trying to save time, rolling the ball down the court. 1:40 remaining in the third. McKinney for 3. Will they get one? They need one. They won't get one. Over the back. They won't have from behind, but they will call one on Devin Price on the front side. What I said earlier, fouls were very light. Now with a minute and a half left in the third, Chattooga has 5 team fouls. And that's with 90 seconds left in the third. Things have changed up a little bit. And now on the program, your 6'5 center, Eddie Roberts, more like a 6'7. Hits the first one of his 1-and-1, a rare treat, and a big man in any one of our regions in AA. Hits the front end of a 1-and-1. Will he get 2? Sure he will. Those are 2 true free throws, and the full court press is on for Chattooga. And they're going to call timeout, Chattooga, on that press. Wisely done. Jared Gross has yet to give his guys a breath of air, and guess what? They're subbing all night long. Not really necessary. He gets to use it for strategy. Swainsboro using their timeouts for breaths of air. Your score from the pit in Swainsboro. Chattooga 47, Swainsboro 37.
And now we're going to let Dawn get a little breath of air. I've had so many compliments on him already tonight. People are just sending me messages bragging on how good he's doing. And while I enjoy basketball a lot, there's no way I can do what he's doing. He's so good at this, so I'm very thankful that he's joined us. He and his wife Terry actually bought lunch for the team today at Zaxby's. They just give so much to our community, and I couldn't be any prouder to have anybody by my side.
We're glad to have you, Casey. What you do, it's the only game in town, but guess what? 5 other people could do that, and it would be no problem whatsoever. It's definitely the best game in town running. All on Georgia's done a fantastic job all season long. And now, actually getting me into a broadcast booth, quote-unquote, scenario for the first time in a few years feels awfully good, especially when you have a hometown team you're proud of. The press is back, not full court. It's going to be almost a diamond press. We have Isaac Foster going to Isaiah. The brothers played together for far too long. Going to break the press. Shropshire on the wing. 1:25 remaining in the third. Indians enjoying a 10-point lead. The left-handed killer takes on their player of the year. And is going to miss. Lots of missed shots in the paint for both teams. McKinney trying to carry them all by themselves. The pass to the senior guard. Going to be a charge. And the student section right behind this young referee not caring for that a bit. Justin Harris, the only senior on this roster. Great call. We had one that could have went both ways just a second ago. Both coaches almost shaking their head in agreement as they look down the sideline at each other. This one too. This one went the other way. So with 70 seconds remaining in the third, 10-point advantage. The boys in red, Tribe up 10.
And we'll take that. We'll take those 10 points.
Now, for those of you just joining us, the first quarter, Indians enjoyed a slight lead.
Right.
But tons of missed shots here from point-blank range in front of their student section. For whatever reason, beyond our understanding here in the broadcast booth, the student section couldn't be farther away from the offense of Chattooga in the second half. The Indians eating it up and in front of Coach Gross. And with a 68-12 mark, he loves the quiet. Isaac Foster looking almost stripped. He's going to go to the left-handed killer, who goes to Schropp on the wing. 50 to go in the third and a 10-point lead. Indians on the road in Emmanuel County, looking to drive down the baseline. Good!
Isaac
Foster gives a dozen-point lead to Tribe. The senior guard goes back to McKinney. McKinney looks for a screen. Not much of a play going on. Just looking for something to open him up or his senior counterpart. They'll get one that time. Justin Harris makes it a 10-point lead. And we have another foul on Justin Harris, the senior, racking them up. He is the only senior on this team. And now for the first time tonight, a substitute will come in for Swainsboro, number 23, Japore Worthen,
so crazy to me
the
because of
6'165" junior.
How much Chattooga substitutes? It's just crazy that they're just now putting in their first sub.
With 23 seconds remaining in the third, the first subs come in, and you know what our subs do. 4 minutes of chaos. The Fosters, the Clayton Johnson to the other sophomore, Devin will get it in. No, he'll miss from point-blank range. Now, McKinney with the Euro step, he'll miss. He gets the rebound, it'll pop out of his hands. From 22, no good!
We'll take that quarter.
The Indians will open up the lead. Your score from the pit in 8 minutes to the 4. Swainsboro 39, Tribe 49. Casey, this devastatingly is exciting. As half of this gym is electric and the other half apparently owes the bill on the light bill. It is quiet on the home side. This 10-point lead is not really reflective of the third quarter. The Indians, not a ton of subs like the first half. Shots, again, not falling for them either, and they're up 10.
I guess the biggest thing right here is we are 8 minutes away from a Final Four trip.
The Indians not one to relinquish in the fourth quarter. Stats will show you the fourth quarter by far and away the Indians' most electric quarter. And I find it hard to believe that being 94 feet away from the student section
Right.
is going to be a benefit to this home team.
Exactly.
Now you're talking about a team who is 19
I
and
guess
10.
you're right. I guess there has to be a story behind it, and I'm going to have to ask because that doesn't make any sense.
They're 19 and 10, 12 and 2 in their region, and that is in 2 AA. The Indians come in 26 and 1, 22 in a row. They're going to pull up though from 18 and make it. Down to an 8-point lead. Indians with the ball, very calm, very confident. Isaac to Montavious, and that is going to be tipped away. Long pass
back
to
to
the left-handed
Isaiah.
killer.
Come on, David.
Wide open, it's tipped away by the home team. Belongs to the Indians. 7.5 minutes to a Final Four spot for one of these two teams. The Indians on a 4-hour road trip from Chattooga County, looking for their first trip. Swainsboro has been there twice. Once just 2 years ago. The left-handed killer draws attention. Now they believe. Now the critics say, hey, let's guard him. 7:20 remaining. The Indians up 8 at the pit. Clock ticking away. Lots of pressure by Swainsboro. And they've got a lost ball. They're going to say pressure made that ball go out of bounds. Swainsboro will take the ball. They've only had one sub tonight. And he's on the court for Swainsboro. The AA player of the year, McKinney, looking to make things happen all on his own. He'll drive, blocked by Perry. The 6'5" man will not get it up in Eddie Roberts. Call a foul from the side on the Indians. That's their 6th foul. 7:08 remaining here at the pit. Indians holding on to an 8-point lead, which they have earned every bit of. And now, just when they think they're going to close the gap to a 7, in comes 7AA Player of the Year and Final Four finalist in the National High School Slam Dunk Contest, Jay Shropshire. This could be a long night. Can we keep up the pressure? Bounce, bounce, bounce. They get one. Swainsboro down 7. Montavious Shropshire, they try to break the press. Stolen. Indians steal a blind pass. Here comes Red. Shropshire going to the paint. They'll finally call one on Roberts. Roberts, in our opinion, getting away with murder on a couple. Not many, but that was one. And finally, they see the slap across both arms. Schropp's going to go to the line for 2. 6:56 remaining. The home crowd has come alive for the first time in 45 minutes, and it's the boo. They're trying to help their home team any way they can. This is a home team that's lost 2 at home in the past 3.5 weeks. The Indians have not lost a AA team in over a year. A AA game in over a year, mind you. Schropp, again, nothing but net. An 8-point lead. Jay Brew making a rare appearance after being a little bit silent. Not a lot of playing time in the playoffs, but an experienced shooter.
Very much so. Jay's very clutch.
9-point lead. The Indians hold this lead true. The one sub that came in for Swainsboro helping a little. They go to the big man Roberts. He can handle the pass. 6:51 and a 9-point lead. Swainsboro now desperate, going back to full court press. The left-handed killer to the brother Isaac. 5 in the backcourt. Big pass to Jay Broom. The pass is off the mark and deflected. McKinney, the 2A Player of the Year, has to pull back. Montavious Shropshire with pressure. McKinney going to take it by himself. He bobbles it on his own. Misses the push from behind. I thought they had a call. No, they'll let it go.
Montavious comes down with it.
Shropshire to steal. Jay Broom is a shooter, guys. And he'll miss. A lot of point-blank range. That's okay. Another turnover. Indians' pressure is on fire on 9-point leader at the pit. The banners ring true left to right here in Emmanuel County, but I'll tell you, they're no closer to getting one tonight. 9-point lead, 6 minutes to go. Swainsboro with only one sub in is definitely starting to be winded. Turnover after turnover. Isaac Foster, the quarterback. Isaiah takes his 1,500 plus to the right wing. He'll drive out to Montavious. No. We're going to burn the clock like we're playing anybody else.
We're under 6 minutes to go in the fourth.
5:47, 5:46. Red looking for their first Final Four trip for boys basketball. It'll be Chattooga's first trip if they can hold on. Since 1988.
Oh, what a
and the
pass.
girls
What
had
a
perfect season.
pass. Oh.
Shropshire looks to go in. Feels like he got a little contact, and no. 5.5 to go. Indians looking to do pressure with a 9-point lead. The 2A player of the year easily winded. The one sub trying to help him. He'll pull up from three and well beyond the arc. He comes alive. Jalen McKinney, the junior, makes it a 6-point game at the pit. Indians looking to hold on. Shropshire, head fake on the pass. He will be fouled as he goes in. Great move by Monty, the hero of the Temple game. And number 4, Jameel Watkins, the 6'2 sophomore, gets a little bit of trouble. 5 minutes to go. They've cut it back down to 6. The Indians were on fire. The full court press helped a little. But now Swainsboro's fatigue is starting to get him on these long passes. Going out of bounds and overheads, Casey.
Right.
Devin Price, the big man from the last game against Thomasville with his 20 rebounds last week. 10 of the offensive variety. Back end of 2 for Montavious Shropshire, looking to make it a 7-point lead on the road in Emmanuel County at the pit against Swainsboro. And he will. A 7-point lead for the Tribe. And with 5:09 remaining at the pit, 5 minutes away. Tribe 52, Swainsboro 45. You're watching All on Georgia here in Swainsboro, Georgia. Welcome to the pit. Casey, this is a phenomenal crowd. All black on one side for the home, all red on the away side for Chattooga, and they couldn't be any louder. I can't imagine it being any louder at home right now, but I
No.
hear there's a packed house.
I hear there's a lot of packed houses enjoying the game, so we just want to thank all of you for tuning in. This game is absolutely the most intense game. I didn't think it would get any better than last week, but it has. Our seniors are really showing out. We've got Clayton and Devin, our sophomores, coming in. Everybody's seeing a little bit of action, and the way that we're resting our team is really showing up very well because Swainsboro's starting to look very, very tired, while our players still look fresh, still look calm and collected, and we are 5 minutes away from the end of the game.
5:09 remaining. Swainsboro with the ball. The one man who has looked fresh, even though he is huffing and puffing. Junior 2A, AA player of the year, and Mr. Jalen McKinney. At 5'7", he has played like a monster, trying to carry this team single-handedly. He has to dish off. Isaiah Foster, LHK with the pressure. He's back at half court looking for one screen. He'll get it, has a roll. Now Monty Shropshire is going to guard him. Drop back, 3 is good. He feels the fire as really pumping up this home crowd. It is a 4-point lead. It's the smallest lead of the second half for the Indians. Tribe holding onto the ball. Isaac Foster draws a little traffic. We're going outside to Jay Shropshire, your 7AA player of the year, and he shows you one on the road.
Yes.
55-48. Can McKinney match? Drop
7-point
back.
game.
This strip by the red. Lots of pressure at the division line. Timeout, Hobbs. And with 4:20 remaining, 55-48 Tribe. Amazing shooting by this junior player of the year. You know quickly why, even though they don't go to their bench often, how they got 19 wins.
Exactly.
He's a fantastic shooter. They'll call him undersized, but guess what? We've had media outlets across the state, including some of the big ones, call us undersized all year. We're not about to come into a game like that and say, well, they're not worthy of 19 in an Elite 8 spot. We know better. And what have we done? Matched them step for step. And Jay Shropshire, just when the doctor ordered it, after being cold from 3 for 2 postseason games, has come alive. 55-48, 4:20 to go, and the pit really is alive, home and away, as the Chattooga faithful has traveled in style. So if you're at home or here at the pit, wake up for the final 4:20. Swainsboro with the ball now, up 7. Swainsboro's true big shooter goes up for a shot. He puts his hand out for a clear out against the chest against Devin Price. Very much looked like a strike against Price's chest first. Devin does not usually say much, but he is asking one of the referees, what do you have? He says, that's okay. That's class.
That's
walking
class.
away. And you know what? As Devin Price comes out, that's going to be his 5th foul. He's had to play extremely physical like he did last week. And I'm sorry, but how much do you lose when you got that bench? He's a great player, and we love him, but Clayton Johnson does just as well when it comes to clutch. All these players play well in the clutch.
They do. That's the thing about we are just a deep team. No matter who comes in, we're still okay.
If the fouls go heavy on one man on this court, number 11, this game's over an hour ago. They are staying alive thanks to his effort. Now the Indians with 4:10, 4:09. They're up 6, looking for a pass. Shropshire to Isaac. In the corner for Jay again, will he go? No. The left-handed killer's open. No, we'll go 1-1. We're going to do a little zone action. That's how we started this game out for Swainsboro. When we actually scouted them, they said they mix up defenses. And we just got to travel. On Isaac
What do you think about that, Don?
Well, I'm 50 feet away as the crow flies.
Right.
They're going to say his foot was down. As far as the home team and Coach Gross, that there was no travel, the pivot foot stayed true. But that referee, he doesn't have the luxury of watching basketball. He's watching a region and watching a foot. Maybe either way, but we're going to cheer for the red. That's going to be a clear off. No, they call a hand check on Isaiah Foster. A true clear out with his arm. Wasn't even close in my opinion. That one may have been missed. A 6-point lead, and the 2AA Player of the Year is going to get the courtesy of a foul. Back to a 5-point lead. They've got no closer than 4 points in this half. They're trying to narrow things at the pit. Chattooga is still very fired up and much more energized when it comes to fatigue. 4-point game. Indians with the ball, 3:42 remaining. All the starters but Clayton Johnson on the court. Big pass to Isaac and Isaiah. Lots of pressure, double team. The left-handed killer goes to Schropp, to the left-handed killer. He's going to go inside for 2 and miss. Rebound Swainsboro. 3:20 remaining.
Woo!
Swainsboro's 2A Player of the Year trying to get a bit of a flop from outside for 3. In and out. Big shot is good. Number 10 for the Swainsboro Tigers. It is a 2-point game at the pit, and it could be not more exciting. Shropshire from the wing. Isaac. Lots of pressure, and they will call a foul on Isaiah Foster, reaching in on a breaking Jamil Watkins. There have been a few very close calls that could have went either way for these Indians, and somehow went to Swainsboro. A strike on the chest of Devin, and then a big clear out by the 2AA Player of the Year. And now the sophomore, 6'2", 158, Jamil Watkins, is at the line. With 2:57 remaining, the Indians hold on to a narrow 2-point lead. 55-53, and this gym couldn't be more electric as their hometown crowd finally comes alive. But the red is up as well. Coach Gross with a very, very fundamental and strategic timeout.
The fans have definitely came back into it now. It's a 2-point game, and I can't even hear myself think.
And now the score, a 2-point margin, and a sophomore will come to the line to shoot 2 free throws. They've had very little in the way of sub-action for Swainsboro, but the activity of number 11, the 2AA Player of the Year, Jalen McKinney, has kept them alive. They're clearly sucking wind, but he is definitely making things happen. The Indians were very hot, end of the third, top of the fourth, now trying to make things happen. They enjoyed a huge double-digit lead early in the fourth, late in the third, and now a lot of close calls. And
a lot of close calls.
Hard effort by both teams made it a 2-point game. And now the sophomore for Swainsboro here at the pit in Emmanuel County would need both to tie if they can get it. In and out, into the hands of Octavius Shropshire. It is a 2-point lead for the Indians. A berth to the 4 on the line. A steal by Swainsboro. A stip by Swainsboro. They go to tie it up, and they do. With 2:44 remaining, full court press. The Indians look down court. The left-handed killer Finally, they will get action from the referees. A lot of missed opportunities, I think. They're not even in the bonus. Swainsboro one away from double. I find it hard to believe that either both need to be in it or out of it. The sophomore Clayton Johnson, the inbound under his own basket to the left-handed killer. He looks for a pass. He can't get it. It will belong to Chattooga, though. They're going to say out Swainsboro. Both coaches have had a great night working the wood, fighting for their teams. Coach Gross looking for win 69. Can there be 27? Can there be 23 in a row? In and out! Isaiah Foster on the floor. He's still there as they try to make something happen. Jalen McKinney. Will he go on his own? He's looking to. Tied up with 2:18 remaining. 2:17 remaining. 55 all at the pit. McKinney to the senior guard. No, air ball. Now Isaiah Foster tries to battle the press. He'll break it. Blind pass to Clayton Johnson. He'll miss. Rebound Swainsboro. Tipped out by Chattooga. 1:57 remaining. 55 all at the pit. Wherever you are in Chattooga County, on your feet. 9 fouls against Chattooga. The next one puts them in double bonus. The Indians yet to even get there. 6 fouls against Swainsboro. Mano a mano from 35 feet. McKinney, Foster. McKinney, his little Euro step move gives them the lead. The first lead of the night. Isaac Foster now driving outside. Jay Shropshire to take the lead. The three's alive. Indians up 1. The Tribe with 1:27 remaining. Defense is what got them here. Can they? A Euro step in by McKinney and a foul. Casey, I didn't see a player near him, but I'm at a 90-degree angle. I don't have that angle.
There's been a lot of calls here in the last couple of minutes that I just can't quite see from my angle.
Very bizarre, some of the calls. Now down 1. The junior player of the year in Region 2A on his own court. He needs 1 to tie. He gets it. Both sides of the pit now awake here. The sign, defend the den, in the student section finally comes up. Tied up 58 all, 1:21 to go. Swainsboro wants the lead. The Indians with the rebound. Swainsboro takes their second lead. Press stays on. They're up 1. Isaiah Foster goes to Isaac. They call nothing. They'll drive to Shropshire from 3. Again, he's gone! They can't stop him at the pit!
Yes, we will take that!
65 precious seconds remaining.
1 minute to go, boys and girls. 1 minute to go.
A 2-point lead for the Indians. McKinney has done everything for this team. Can he continue? He can. It is 61 all. The referees are going to get together, and I believe they're going to check on the time on the clock. The clock will probably be reset a little bit. It sits at 51. We're up at 52. Let's see how far up they go. Shouldn't be much. It is 61 all. The Indians will have the baseline. They can run the baseline in the inbounds.
I'm just going to tell y'all, I'm not made for games like this.
Casey, all
My
you
heart is
gotta do
palpitating.
is hang
And
in
I don't
with
even think
everyone
that's a
else.
word.
If you're just joining us, I don't know where you've been. You've missed out. Chattooga County on your feet at 61 all at the pit. Swainsboro has nothing but banners lining the wall. Region champions, Final Four, Sweet 16s. The Indians looking to make their first crisp, clean, brand new Final Four if they can do this. They played defense. That's what got them this far. A coin toss made these 2 number 1s have to pick a home team. Chattooga had to take the road. Less traveled, 4 hours to Swainsboro. With 56 precious seconds. Foster to Foster with no pressure. 61 all. Can the Indians find a way to break through? A loud crowd in Swainsboro. Shropshire looking to cut left and right. Screens for him. Isaac to Isaiah, the left-handed killer, finds no love in the corner. He'll go to his brother. Isaac, down low to Clayton. Outside to a cutting left-handed killer. He missed a steal by Isaac. They're going to say ball out of bounds on Chattooga. We are befuddled, baffled as you are. And now hand checks being called in the backcourt. 61 all with 23 seconds remaining at the pit. A lot of action, and rightly so for Isaac. He got hammered 2 good times as he crossed half court on the drive down. A hand check is his demise just 10 seconds later. And now the Region 2 AA Player of the Year has won to take a 1-point lead and makes it. 23 seconds remaining. And now Jalen McKinney looking to make it a 2-point lead. Johnson, Shropshire on the blocks, and they're back in a half-court defense. Swainsboro is for the first time in a while. 2-point lead for the Indians. The left-handed killer, Isaiah Foster, as they cross the division line, timeout the Indians with 19.9 seconds at the pit. Your score, Swainsboro, with only their 3rd lead of the night, 63. Chattooga, 61.
I don't even really know what to say, Dawn. I mean, we got under 20 seconds to go. We're down by 2. You know that they're probably going to try to get it in the hands of Jay Shropshire, who's been sinking the threes and put this game away.
These are 2 number 1 seeds that you hope would battle it out. Neither team is disappointed. The atmosphere on both sides has been absolutely phenomenal. The one position you never want to get into, you don't want to stick that ball in the hands of any of your shooters down 2 in the final seconds. Every shooter will tell you the ball weighs 1,000 pounds in the final 30 seconds.
I can't imagine.
We're a very forgiving team and we love to pass around. But with Jay Shropshire on fire and this defense looking to block someone, will they look for Jay? Will they go to the left-handed killer and Isaiah Foster? We'll see. Man coverage on the shooters, Shrop and Foster. They'll go deep to Isaiah. He is in his backcourt. 2-point lead for the home team. Stolen pass. McKinney will go to put it up, and he will miss. They'll call a foul on Jay Shropshire, who had to save it. A lot of pressure, and a pass to the away sideline went the way of Swainsboro. It is a 2-point lead for Swainsboro as they look to make it a 2-possession game with 11.1 to go. Missing 1 helps a ton. The Indians will call a timeout on the second free throw with 11 seconds remaining and the back end of 2 shots for Swainsboro. Tribe down 2. Casey, this next possession will be probably the biggest one in Chattooga's boys' history. On the sideline, for those of you watching at home, Indians very poised on the sideline as they're in their timeout, all listening to Coach Gross. They know there's a lot of pressure. They've had issues here and there with everything on the court. The referee's doing what they can to keep this all in check, but it is a 2-point game. The Region 2 AA Player of the Year, Jalen McKinney, even though Wyndon has been phenomenal for this away team, he is at the line for 1 more shot. A foul shot will give Swainsboro a 3-point lead between these 2 1 seeds. Indians would have the ball with 11 seconds. Now Chattooga has timeouts left, only up 2. A rebound would mean a world of difference, but this rebound is pivotal. Isaac Foster on 1 block, Montavious Shropshire on the other. The foul shot is up. It's good. 3-point lead, inbound, 10 seconds remaining. Isaiah Foster will cross, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. He'll pull up for 3. It is partially blocked. It is out of bounds. Chattooga's ball. It says 1.3 seconds, but there's going to be closer to 3. They are going to adjust the clock as they did just a second ago. Isaiah and Shrop, the 2 deep threats, over and over again, looking to tie this game. Maybe someone else will be the hero. Inbounding under our own basket. Montavia Shropshire looks. And the pass will go Swainsboro away. The pit in Swainsboro is the home site for a classic number 1 versus number 1. It didn't disappoint for a basketball enthusiast, but for Chattooga and the Tribe, they fall just a bit short, and it was no lack of effort. This team shot after shot. The coaches did a phenomenal job. The Swainsboro team, very light on subs, played a winded game. They will go away saying there were a lot of issues with fouls and non-fouls, but this Tribe played a spirited game, a spirited postseason. Not happy coming off the court, and I have to say rightly so, but not showing their attitudes, simply walking off the court. You couldn't be prouder of a team to represent your school. The Shropshires, Montavious, and Jay walking off. Coach Gross, the staff, Devin Price walking off as well. A 3-point game. The Indians, for only the second time in a year, drop a AA contest in the playoffs. 64-61. But Casey, these Indians have went somewhere they've never went before.
They have, and we had
Elite Eight and in fantastic fashion.
a wonderful season. We made it really far. 26-1, the most wins out of any team in Chattooga's history. And we hung in there. I mean, it was us against one player, and towards the end, it almost seemed like we were against one player and a couple of refs. So,
as I'll tell you, first-hand experience, officiating basketball is never an easy job, and every coach will want it to go their way. But it absolutely was a phenomenal effort by all parties. There were a few things late. Chattooga wanted to go their way. The Indians, all this Tribe faithful, really wanted to happen. Did not happen to go our way, but they carry their heads high walking out of here.
They sure
For those
can.
of you back in Chattooga County,
They can
you
carry
could not possibly be prouder.
no, they played wonderfully, and we just thank you all for tuning in and watching this. Even though it didn't go quite the way we wanted it to, we have so very much to be proud of. Thank you for all the people that came out and showed up. Thank you for giving us a chance to remember what One Chattooga is about, for taking us out of town this day with the fire trucks and the police department, for giving something for our community to cheer about. Again, this is Casey Brown with All on Georgia and Don Foley.
Your final 64-61 in favor of Swainsboro this time. For all the crew on the All on Georgia staff that made the trip to Swainsboro, a great good night and one Tribe.
One Chattooga.